clappered. What is it? Tonight, everyone, we're going to talk about reinventing ourselves. You know, I want to start by talking about my hair. I go to a wonderful person named Stacy, who, if anyone needs a wonderful hairdresser, I will give you her card. And every time I leave the hairdresser, people stop me and go, "Oh, I love your hair. I love your hair. It looks great." And then in a couple days, couple weeks, she usually does it flatter. Like you can tell I just came from there. She does it flatter. But then over a couple days, couple weeks, I start poofing it back up. and maybe a month and a half from now, it'll be all poof. And no one will say, "Ellen, I like your hair." But they do when I come out from seeing Stacy. And you know, I thought about that a lot. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? I look in the mirror, and if I don't see the poof, I don't see me. I've rubber stamped myself with poof. And if I don't have it, just the same as black eyeliner. You know, I grew up in the 70s, baby. I got that black eyeliner. If I don't have my black eyeliner on, I'm like, whoa, I don't look like me. And I went to the Watchfire, and this guy named Scrappy, as I'm tripping, Scrappy was having a few drinks. I didn't even know him, and he comes up to me out of nowhere, and he goes, "You know what? That hair makes you look old." He goes, "It's so poofy. Looks like you got lost in the 80s somewhere." And I said to him, "Scrappy, how interesting that you would feel so comfortable telling a complete stranger that, but I think you've got some credence. I think you've got something very true to that, because I think we do that in many facets of our lives. I think we rubber stamp ourselves. I'm a fat person. I'm fat. I've always been fat. I always will be fat. Or I'm the life of the party." And you go to a party and people are like, "Come on, entertain me, let's go." Or you're the quiet one. Or you're the one who always does this if I say this. My kids have said to me, "Well, I didn't tell you because I knew what you were going to say." See, I don't even have to talk. I don't even have to communicate. They know what I'm going to say. Now, I've been really thinking a lot about reinventing myself, about the whole Pray It Off group. And I think, you know what? I don't want the Scrappies of the world to say that my hair's stuck in the 80s, and everyone likes it when it's flat. So God is my witness. Even when I'm tempted to poof, I'm going to try not to. And I go to work every day, and there's these young girls, and one day their hair's purple. And the next day they got this like fall, like I call it a fall, shows you how old I am, a hairpiece. And it's sticking up like this, and they got high heels on one day, and one day they got this on. Every day they look different. How often do we rubber stamp ourselves and say, "Oh, I gained 2 pounds this week, and next week I'll lose 2 pounds, and then I'll gain the weight back because that's what I do." That's what I do. This whole night we're going to talk about reinventing ourselves. How often do you just wake up and go, "How did I get here? How did I get to be 53 years old and weigh 371 pounds? How did I get there? How did that happen?" And I can either have perpetuated that, or I could try to reinvent myself. Even this dress. This isn't a dress that the 371 Ellen would wear. I bought it at a garage sale with the tags on it for $1. And I said, you know, I'll never wear it because it's too short. I'm not reinventing myself that much, girl. But I can put some pants, some capris on it, and I can put some jewelry on. And I looked in the mirror this morning and I went, "Can you get away with that, Ellen?" And I said to myself, "You can do whatever you want." And I walked right into work. "Hi, everyone." They're like, "Oh, that's kind of bright." I'm like, Isn't it bright? Yeah. And I am not going to run out and get a tattoo tomorrow. Now, I'm not talking about midlife crises here. I'm not talking about leaving your husband or wives and going to Tahiti and laying on a beach. I'm talking about the little things that we do to say, "She's the funny one. She's the quiet one. I'm fat. I've always been fat. I'll always be fat. I gained the weight back. I knew I would. That's what I do." We need to stop thinking like that. Here's something else. Reinventing yourself can be a little scary. You take a few risks. When you look in the mirror and you don't see the poof. Here's an example. My sister and I are like twins. She's 2 years younger than me. So she has the poof too, because we like the way it looks. So she goes to the same hairdresser, and her hair is kind of flat when she gets out, like mine. So like around a week or so after she got back from getting her hair done, her husband looked at her and said, you know, you made your new hair look like your old hair. And I thought that was hysterical. Even he said, you made your new hair look like your old hair, because she was poofing it. And you know, there's worse things in life that you can do. I'm using that as an example. We get so used to looking in the mirror. How many of us have picked a hairstyle or a way to dress or the same sneakers or eat the same foods? 2.5 years, I can write some of your logs for you. I know what you're going to eat. I know what you're going to have. Bagel, cream cheese, bacon, Whopper, pancakes, pizza on Friday. I know what you're going to eat. I could come in and say, what? You didn't have pizza on Friday? Were you sick? Were you in bed? What's going on? We rubber stamp our diets. And then here's what I hate when people do this. Yeah, I had an avocado and I had asparagus. Ew. Why do people do that? Or they say, oh yeah, I really like tuna fish. Ew. I hate that. And then you're like, they do it at work all the time. Like somebody will say, oh, I tried this. Ew. My opinion is this. You might love hummus. You might hate hummus. But don't say you hate it if you haven't tried it. Don't say you hate asparagus if you only have it covered in cheese sauce. How many of us ate our vegetables from a can with cheese sauce and butter and all that sort of thing? We need to get out of that routine. But people are resistant to change. Every Saturday night at 5 o'clock Mass, people go, I wonder if Bob and Ellen are here. And they know right where to look, because we sit in the same pew every week. They know, right? Anybody go to 5? You know where we sit? Yep. Yeah. That's where we sit. And why? Why did Father Pryor say, excuse me, Ellen and Bob, you got to sit here? Why do we always sit? I like it there. I kind of feel comfortable there. One night, someone was sitting in our pew, and we sat way over on the other side. I felt like adrift. Who are these people? I don't know them. And then I was going, now thank we all our God. And they're like, ooh, she sings really loud. Everyone where I sit knows I sing loud. But these new people, they were looking at me like, wow, she's a loud singer. And I felt uncomfortable over there. I felt like, do I belong on the other side of the church? Now, I'm not saying that you have to change everything. But you know what I think is funny? If everyone knows what you're going to say, next time, say something different. If they say, well, like if someone says, like our 14-year-old son says, well, you know, I was thinking of asking a girl to the movies Friday night, but I don't know how that's going to fly. I said, well, I think that's a great idea. And he's like, you do? I said, absolutely. You're going into the high school. I don't see anything wrong with the movies. Really? Shake them up a little. Like, then they wait for what's going to hit. What's she going to say? What's wrong? I don't care. We'll go to the movies. Of course, his father and I will be sitting a few rows back. He doesn't know that. I'm only kidding. Now, chances are you might get some negative feedback. You might have some scrappy say, you know, your hair looks well, but that was before I changed. Somebody might say, ooh, that dress, you know, you're trying to look young. And I'll say something like this to them, you know, I don't have to try to look young because I feel young. I feel good. As a matter of fact, we had an insurance test. And we got our results back. We had to have all this blood work. I was reading my lab work like it was some graphic romance. I was going, Bob, my cholesterol's 140. 140. Look at my good cholesterol. Oh, what's this? I don't know. Let me look it up on the internet. Oh, that's good too. I was reading it and I was like, I am 56 years old and I have lab work like this. I probably didn't before Pray It Off. And I'm going to stop this section right here because I got the high sign.